guys, I'm Lisa and I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing a July TBR because I don't know if you noticed, I didn't really do a real TBR last month. I only talked about the books that I knew I was going to be reading because of buddy reading and all of that, but this time I'm back with a TBR and a new way of tackling it. And you probably already know some of the books that will be on my TBR, but if you've watched my most recent video, if you have not yet watched it, then definitely go and check it out. I'll leave it in the card symbol up here, as well as in the good description box below. But it is a new way where I'll be unwrapping books that I'll be adding to my TBR. This month I have unwrapped 7 different books because I have 7 different genre wrapping papers that contains different genres. So I wanted to unwrap a book from each of those types of wrapping papers and the books that I ended up picking out. If you've watched that video already, you know this, but if you haven't and you don't feel like watching it, then you can see what those are here. But to recap, the first one of those is Fuzzy Nation by John Scalzi. This will be my science fiction pick. Dr. Death by Lene Kaaberbøl. This is a Danish author. This is a historical book, but I don't exactly know how much it contains paranormal or fantasy sort of elements. I'm not sure what sort of genre to put it in, other historical fiction, so that's why I put it in this type of wrapping paper. And my urban fantasy paranormal pick of the month was Vision in Silver by Anne Bishop. I'm super excited to get to this. Really excited, because this was one of my favorite authors I discovered last year, and I gave both of the first books 5 stars, so high hopes for this one. And then my contemporary pick was Sound Bites by Rachel K. Burke. I think this is going to be like a new adult sort of book with a very heavy on the romance, but it's a rock and roll love story. And that intrigues me because I think it's gonna be fun. Then I picked from my horror thriller section, I picked The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware, and I'm excited to get to this. So I'll definitely be reading this in July. The next 2 books are the fantasy picks, because I have them in 2 different sort of wrapping papers. And the first one of those were The Novice by Tara Matharu, the first book in the Summoner trilogy, and I'm excited to get to this. And the final book was Fallen Kingdoms by Morgan Rhodes, the first book in the Fallen Kingdoms series. It's sort of been branded as a young adult version of A Song of Ice and Fire, but I don't think it's fair, because A Song of Ice and Fire is so much gory, and yeah, but maybe it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see. I know it's multiple perspectives, and some of the booktubers who've read this have talked about how easy it is to read, how fast you go through these books, so I hope that will be the case for me as well. Then I have also planned to buddy read a book this month, and I'm going to be buddy reading When Dimple Met Rishi by Sanya Menon, or however you are saying her name. I'm sorry, I should look that up. But I'm going to be buddy reading this with Riley from RM Fig Fag, and I'm really looking forward to this. We're going to be starting it around, was it the 14th or something, in the 2nd week of July. And then I have some science fiction masterworks that I'm pretty sure I'll be getting to. Hopefully these will be the science fiction picks that I'll be reading this in July for the masterwork project. And that will be The Demolished Man by Alfred Bester. I think this is going to be a pretty fast-paced one, and I'm really looking forward to getting to this. And the other one from my Masterworks collection, I'll be reading a short, slim one, because considering my TBR size so far, and it'll be Behold the Man by Michael Moorcock. I'm really looking forward to getting to this, and it's only like 130 pages, so it'll be a quick read. And then I've been sent 2 review copies by authors, and so I'm hoping that I'll be able to get to both of them and put up a review of those over July, but we'll see if I manage to fit them in. The first one of those is Resurgence by AJ Flower. This has a really interesting blurb. It doesn't have a lot of ratings at all on Goodreads or anywhere, so it's not talked about very much at all, and that's why I wanted to give it some light, because maybe it's going to be completely amazing, and then I want to spread some awareness around this book. But I'm gonna read the back here just to give you an indication of what this is going to be about. In the summer of 1913, Mary committed suicide by crashing a plane into her parents' house. Her survival kept secret, she is spared a life sentence in an asylum with the opportunity of a job as a pilot aboard a mysterious airship. On a mission that takes Mary across the entire continent, the chance to taste all of life's richness and sensual pleasure is thrown at her. But Mary learns quickly that life of her own comes at a price, and the consequence of failure becomes death when she is drawn into humanity's darkest horrors. The man she loves is a ruthless assassin, her friends are murderers, and Mary must find a reason to live all over again when an ancient technology is reinvented to unleash vengeance for a genocide the world ignored. And I definitely think it sounds really interesting. I like that it's a historical setting. I'm really into historical set books right now, so I think it was pretty timely that she contacted me. And it's a really short one, it's only 260. And also, along with the books, I also got 2 bookmarks, that's kind of cool. So I'm excited to get to this. And the other review copy I was sent was Wren by Charity W. Kelly. This is a fantasy book. This is a self-published author, and so I wanted to help her because I really admire when someone goes out and publishes their own stuff, and I think that they should have at least a chance. And I read the blurb and it sounded really interesting, and I got a little note from the author as well, and obviously it was signed as well by the author. But yeah, this, I'll just read the blurb back of this as well so you can get an idea of the premise of this book. 17-year-old Wren would like nothing more than to crush the Thestrons. After all, the ruling family abandoned him as a young child to be raised by Serpent's cruel king. Now, as a commander of the Serpent army, Wren is sent on a spy mission to learn the Thestrons' weaknesses. When his mission takes an unexpected turn, Wren finds himself suddenly enrolled in the Thestrons' elite university. Dropped among his enemies, Wren must find a way to juggle the politics of 2 royal families who claim him while hiding his powers and learning how to become a true leader. What Wren doesn't know is that his choice will decide the fate of the entire universe. And I think the premise sounds really, really cool. And I like sort of books. It might be a little cliche tropes with 2 sort of kingdoms at war with each other, but I definitely think that it sounds really intriguing, and I like the thing when that one of them goes undercover in another, in the other enemy's territory and sort of learn some new things about them that I didn't expect. So I'm really hoping to enjoy this, and I think the cover is pretty cool, and I will definitely try and have a view of this over July and let you know what I thought of it. But the reason I know I'm probably not going to get through all of these books is that I also have all of my library books still, and I have 5 of those. I'll leave a link to my library haul and you'll see all of the books that I've checked out currently. So I'm definitely also planning on trying to get through some of those over July. Good thing that I have 2 weeks of vacation this month, so maybe I'll get a lot of reading in. Finally, I have something new I need to do because I have, first of all, I have access to 2 services that I'm paying for. One of them is called Storytel and the other place is called Mofibo. Storytel, I listen to my audiobooks. The most of my audiobooks are either from Storytel or from Audible. So I always make sure to listen to books from Storytel, and I pay about 130 Danish kroners, which divided by 6.5 and you get what the dollar count is. I can't really do the math in my head right now. And I also have Mofibo. I used to be really good at reading from Mofibo before, and I mostly read ebooks from there. But I discovered that I've only read 2 books from this service this whole year, and I pay the same amount of money from Mofibo as I'm doing for Storytel. So I need to remedy that. I also have some audios that I'll be listening to from Mofibo eventually, and sometimes I'll try and do that, but I just need to get those ebooks in, and I really am curious about some of the books that I have on my bookshelf on that service. And so I filled up a jar with green tabs filled with books from Mofibo that I'm interested in reading. So I'll pick one each month from this jar to find out and try and get through that book over the month, so that I can at least get one book read from that service, since I'm paying so much for that. And also, I have talked about how many Kindle books that I have. I have not really been working very successfully at that. But instead of going through books from the bottom of my Kindle, I'm just going to pick a book from my Kindle from this jar. This is filled with all of my, you can see how crammed it is with things. All of the yellow tabs were the first one that I filled out. And then I've ran out of yellow paper, so I started filling out the orange ones. And this is really have been shaken up so that it's divided. I have no idea how many new ones that are up here and down here, because I put them in a shoebox, shook it up and put it in here afterwards. But I do know that if I get to the orange ones, those are the most recent added to my Kindle, so I probably will be leaning towards picking those from the beginning, because I'm interested in getting to the newer ones first. But yeah, I'm gonna pick one from this jar every month and one from this jar every month. And the reason I picked these colors is because for the past couple of years I've been doing a spreadsheet on my Google Sheets where I've been keeping track of my TBR, of my reading and all that, and I've kept color codes of where to find the books when I wanted to get to them. And green was always the color code I used for Mofibo, and yellow was always the color code I used for my Kindle books. And so those are the reason for those colors. And I picked orange because I ran out of the yellow, obviously. But yeah, I'm going to pick one from each of these jars right now. I'm excited to see which I'm going to start with. I hope it's a good one. There will be some books that I'm not super interested in, but I will be giving them a try, because on the other hand, I'm also a little interested in them, because I can't really get myself to move them from that TBR. So I have a piece of green paper here. Let's see. Oh, this is The Sign of the Four by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So this is the second book in the Sherlock Holmes universe. I really enjoyed Study in Scarlet, so I'm actually excited to get to this, but I might listen to the audio of this, so if I can find the one where Stephen Fry is narrating them, but I don't think I have that. But these are usually pretty fast reads, so hopefully I'll get through it pretty quickly. It's exciting to see what this book will be. I am going to picking an orange one. Okay, this is Magic of Thieves by C. Greenwood. I actually think this is an ER copy. Okay, interesting. It's a fantasy book, I know that. That was all I have on my July TBR. It's quite big. This is my main stack. I'm pretty excited about this. And then I can't wait to figure out how many of these I'm going to be loving. So this is kind of exciting. So let me know in the comments down below what you have plans to read in July. If you have any plans to read any of these books, definitely let me know, because it would be fun to buddy read them. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye!